Hi, I'm Gavin from the CS team, and today we're going to be going through how to use the calculator function within the bots to generate quotes and price calculator for the end users and things like that. You'll notice that we're in the visual bot part of the platform. You can use the calculator function within any of our bots, except for the CTA bot, so in-page chatbot and visual. However, generally speaking, we get the best results and the best engagement through visual bots because it's sort of a gamification of the user experience. They land on the site, they see the strong imagery. It feels more like an interactive tool, more so than a chat option as the other ones may do. So we'll start from scratch. We'll give it a name. This one we're just going to do a very simple price per user calculator. So imagine that you are a software company and you charge a set fee per month per user, and so a user might want to find out how much that would cost them if that price isn't exactly on your site. Great. So the first thing to do is to engage them with an initial single choice node. And so at this point, we want to find out, are they ready to get a quote or do they need to speak to an advisor? And so at this point, we'll have the title as, would you like to get a quote? A quote is option one. And then what we'll do is we'll add in some imagery around that to make it more engaging. And for answer two, we'll have this as speak to an advisor. It's always good to have that as an option in case that people are ready to go straight through to one of the member of the sales team, for example. Great. And then so what we'll do is we'll just build the bottom one out first because it's the quickest, and we'll just add in the form node. We can use the quick CTA. And that'll populate a form for us there. You can change this as you see fit. Great. So that's nice and simple. You can add extra bits there if you would need to, but just as a starting point. In terms of the quote builder, what we want to do is we want to give the user the ability to enter the amount of users that they would need in order to use your platform. And then we want to be able to multiply that by the cost per user and then give them a quote at the end. So in order to do that, the first thing we'll need is to have an open field. So we'll say, let me just get rid of the preview here. So we'll just say, please enter the number of users you will need. That's a multi-line field. We'll just leave that as blank as it is. So they'll be able to input whatever they would like. From here, we'll need to add a variable. Now, what the variable does is it reads the information that the person has put in, and then we can then feed that into the calculator, multiply it by the cost per user, and then show them the result at the end. So what we'll do is we'll click on variable. Now you'll notice that it says none set, and we create new because we haven't made any in this bot yet. So if I click create new, you'll notice it pops up this box here, which is the dynamic variable setting. So from here, we'll have to add them in. And in this case, we'll call it price per user, number field, and it'll be a 0's default value. Now, depending on the price of your services and products, you can change the default value to make the calculations more complex if needed. For the purpose of this, we'll keep it nice and simple and have it as a default as 0. While we're here, we'll also need another variable to output the result. And in that case, it'll be total price. So we'll need to add in a total price variable because price per user times the cost, which we'll input later on, will then give us this end result. So we need to have both of those variables to be able to give the information back to the user. There's no limit to the amount you can have here, and I suppose depending on the calculations, you can have as many as you need. So for now, I'm just going to save this, and then I'll come back to this node to make sure that we are assigning the correct variable. So we'll go to variable, price per user, execution is read. So what that means is it'll read what the user inputs into this option. Great. So then from here, we're going to feed this into the calculator node. Now you'll notice that at the top, you can select the specific inputs, or if you just typed in price per user, it'll give you anything with that name within it, and then you can select from there. So whatever you're more comfortable with. Once you see it highlighted like this, you know it's been accepted. In this case, we're going to say operation is times because we want to multiply it by the cost. And then the cost in this example will be 20. So we'll say it's £20 per user. And then we're going to hit return. And you can see it now, it's had the block around it, so we know that is saved. The next thing to do then is to set the output variable. So this is the bit that your visitor will see as the end result. So we're just going to, from the drop-down, select total price. So what we've basically created here is price per user is the number that the visitor inputs. 20 is how much it costs per user, and then the total price is the end result. So how many they put in times 20 will equal the total price. So that's a nice simple way of presenting that. In order to feed this back to the visitor, we'll just connect this to a bot says, and we'll say thanks. The total price would be, and then we'll just add in the variable here, which is total price. Now I'm just going to click save to make sure everything's okay. Save successfully. Now you can, of course, put a form node in between these two in the case that you may want to get this information. Especially if it's not something that's readily available on your site, you're trying to generate leads from it, you could then connect this to the form and then the form straight through to here. You can add in extra questions. You can make a completely new form if you would like, as a way of getting that information. What we're going to do is going to hit preview. So now we're in the preview mode. We can click get quote. Please enter the numbers your users will need. In this case, I'm just going to put in 3. The bot then multiplies that by 20, and then we say the total price would be 60. Now, of course, you can add in front of this if it's going to be euros or pounds or dollars, and after that we can also say per month or per calendar year. This can be customized as you see fit. Now from here we can then either add in a single choice node or a form to say, would you like to speak to one of our advisors about your quote, and then again sort of feed them back into the form as a way of completing that sort of lead gen operation. So we might want to add in again just nice and simple, would you like to speak to an advisor please, or not right now. And if it's yes please, we can just go back to this one that we've already made. It's a predefined form. If it's not right now, we can build out other paths to then show them different pieces of content. So that's a nice simple way of using the calculator to generate a quote for some of your visitors. As I say, this is a nice simple one. We'll do more complex ones in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video.